We hear a lot from men having multiple wives, but we don't talk about women having multiple partners or husbands, right? Funny thing is, non-monogamy has been around way longer than monogamy has.
Yeah.
And monogamy has only been a thing that's recent. But we always think, oh, it's such a modern, hot topic. Welcome to Umaversity Talks. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Bowi.
And here we dive into the real shit that women go through that they never dare to teach you in school. So, no filters and no sugarcoating.
Just two women having the raw, funny, and brutally honest conversations we all need.
Let's go. Today we're talking about, drumroll,
non-monogamy.
Non-monogamy.
Since it's such a hot topic these days, already for a while.
You know, it's actually a funny thing. I'll tell you something. So I spoke to a really cool expert, Jolien Spolstra, and she has been researching non-monogamy. And the funny thing is, non-monogamy has been around way longer than monogamy has.
Yeah.
Non-monogamy was present when we were hunter-gatherers. That was the thing. And monogamy has only been a thing that's recent. But we always think, oh, it's such a modern, hot topic. But funny, huh?
I think especially monogamy really started in the time period of when religion became a really big part of society, or became the part of society. I think that's the biggest source of monogamy, right?
Yeah, also they said when the agricultural revolution came, it's because you, instead of like moving from place to place in your tribe, you would stay in one place because you have land that you need to tend to. And that's where monogamy came from, or started. That's what I've heard here and there. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, and I think, but especially like the absolutely no one else and no boundaries to be crossed came especially within religion.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and all the rules and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the non part.
Yeah, it's a non-monogamy. Yeah, there's all kinds of forms of non-monogamy. Which one do you know?
Yeah, so I know polyamorous. To be very honest, I know a lot of people who have it in their own ways. There's not really to put a label to it. I know there's so many names and stamps and labels to it, but...
I mean, there's different types. I also know, like you, I know a lot of people who have non-monogamous relationships. There's not like one clear non-monogamous relationship that everybody has, because every relationship is different.
Exactly.
Everybody has different negotiations in their...
Exactly. And I really love that. And thanks to you, the Uma watchers, for actually asking us these questions, because it's really now, I think, I don't know why, because it's around me a lot, and I think with you as well, but now it really makes me think, could I or could I not be in a non-monogamous relationship? Could you?
I think I could. Well, I would love for you to also drop in the comments, like, could you be in a non-monogamous relationship? Yes or no?
And if so, on what terms, right? So for you, because what we just said, everybody's different. Everybody has their own ways. All the people around me has their own ways within relationships, monogamous or non-monogamous. So if you were in a non-monogamous relationship, or you would allow yourself in one, what would be your terms?
First of all, I would want to have a strong foundation with the partner that I have a non-monogamous relationship with. So trust needs to be there. Trust and safety.
Yeah, but that's the bare minimum, right?
No, but a lot of people actually started from the very beginning when they just start knowing each other. But for me, I need trust and safety as a foundation. So I do think if I look at what my capacity is, I think I could be in a non-monogamous relationship where... So you have different types, right? Polyamorous. I have friends who are in a polyamorous relationship where they have another partner, like another boyfriend or girlfriend, right? I couldn't do that.
Because that's another emotional relationship, actually.
Exactly. I can only have one emotional relationship. But sexual, though, it's different. I can have different sexual relationships because I know to detach emotional a little bit from sex. I've practiced that, and I've also done that. It's not like something you have to practice, but I've done it before. So I know that I can do it, but I know that I cannot give my heart to someone else. I cannot, but I can have fun with someone else. And what I would like, of course, is to share the fun with the partner that I have an emotional connection with. So my partner, we would have, a threesome or a quartet, whatever. That is something that I could be open for, but have a whole new extra partner, that's too much for me. So I couldn't do a polyamorous.
So when I was in anthropology, I know there was this one society where the woman actually indeed had 3 partners, but it was also because she was the only woman. It was like this dying culture, and there was only one woman left. So that's why she actually had to have multiple male partners. And I think there were brothers as well that were going with her. But it comes in societies like this, it comes more from a functioning perspective, of course, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then it's more like survival of the fittest. Like we needed to keep our race going.
It's a functioning thing. Like it's for function there instead of love and intimacy, I guess.
You know what it's called when women have multiple partners? It's called polyandry.
Oh, yes, I've heard about this. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a few tribes in the world that practice this. You have if I say it correctly, it's the Mosuo tribe in China. Yeah. And there's also the Tuaregs tribe in the Sahara. And then there's also the Himba tribe in Namibia. And in one of the tribes, I remember reading that in the evening, women can have multiple partners, but during the daytime, they're monogamous. And in the evening, they're non-monogamous.
So they have one main spouse.
Yeah.
There's always one main spouse, and then next to the main spouse, she's allowed to have multiple partners.
Bed partners. And those are only
after
allowed
sunset.
After sunset. Yeah. So very interesting. And I think the one in China is where women literally have multiple partners. And it's the culture, and it's important that the women choose who to choose. I think it's so... Because we never talk about polyandry. We always talk about polyamory. We hear a lot from men having multiple wives, but we don't talk about women having multiple partners or husbands, right? Yeah, that's a form. I couldn't have multiple husbands. I could have multiple bed partners, but I couldn't have multiple husbands. I know that because I cannot give my heart to more than one person. But I could have fun with more than one person. But emotionally connecting to another person, that's a lot for me. Yeah. What about you?
I don't know. There are so many different forms, and I've seen so many people around me where it really worked, where it didn't work.
Yeah, also.
So it makes me question, because I have never been in one. I've never experienced it really.
No, me neither.
I know I'm not a jealous person. I don't have that at all. So that's already one survival thing, right? So I don't have a really big part of jealousy in me. So I think I would be safe there. I don't know. Somewhere in my mind, I think I fantasized about this one time. I was like, my goal in life within a relationship, I want to get married. I want to get married. Absolutely. I'm going to get married one day. I'd love to get married. But I am a bisexual woman. So I would always wonder, like, if I would marry a woman, would I be allowed to have maybe like men partners on the side? If I would marry a man, would I sometimes be allowed to have like a female partner on the side? But I have no idea. Would it be a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Would it be just someone sometimes as a hookup? I've never really had a hookup, so I wouldn't know.
That would be interesting to have your first one-night stand in your relationship, because you've never had a one-night stand, right?
No, I'm still waiting for the day I'm gonna have a one-night stand, but I don't know. I would be open to it, though. I think I would be very open to it if indeed the bare minimum, the trust is absolutely there. We're both extremely in love with each other, but there's some type of desire for something that I can't fulfill or he can't fulfill. Then why not?
I don't believe personally that because you don't have a desire that someone can fulfill, it's a reason to open up the relationship. What I've seen in the relationships around me, when they open up their relationships because one partner couldn't fulfill certain needs, then a lot of times they went really wrong. Because of just the feeling of lack one partner had, and the feeling of like, I can't find any you, and then finding someone else. There was this equilibrium that just got off balance, right? So I think it's really important to open up the relationship because you're both curious and adventurous, and that should be the reason, but not because, you can't give me what I need, so I'm allowed to go and looking for in other people.
Oh yeah, I understand
Because
what you're saying.
you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain.
Oh yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I understand what you mean. I don't agree though.
Yeah.
Because I think needs and desires are two different things. Let's start there for me. I think that are two different things. And I do know actually a couple that one has a sexual desire and the other person just really doesn't have that type of desire, what he or she wants or is like looking for within sexuality or a fetish. Let's say it like that, is a fetish. And then I think it's actually, if you really like each other, you love being with each other, but one of the two has a certain type of fetish that you just don't
like
do
that?
something,
Yeah.
like a desire that you can't fulfill. If you open it up then and just be from a source of love and say, listen, I love you so much,
But I need this.
you need this, I can't fulfill it, you can get it somewhere else, but I don't want you to date anybody else, I just want you to get your fetish from there. And for it's
But
the
then
way
it's
you
really
fill it
from
in,
a
right?
place of, well, let's like it's. I feel like it's from a different place. It's like it's not as a band-aid for the relationship. More out as in, hey, I see your needs, I see your desires. I can't fulfill this because I don't want to, but I give consent.
Yeah.
We have consent to do it, you know? Because I also think another really important thing of non-monogamy is consent, consensual non-monogamy.
Yeah.
Because
both parties really have to be behind this decision.
Yeah, so that's like number one thing, both parties. Otherwise, it's just cheating for me. If it's not consensual for both parties, it's cheating.
Yeah, it's also, I think it's making a use of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Using it as an excuse or making use of this term so you can just do whatever you want. Not taking accountability and responsibility.
Yeah.
Like we talk about within healthy relationships, right? You always need responsibility.
Yeah.
So if it's going to be non-monogamy or monogamous, it doesn't matter. You need responsibility, accountability, and trust.
Yeah,
That's
because
really
the
important.
relationships that I see around me that have a non-monogamous relationship, you can also have multiple forms of non-monogamy within one relationship. It's very interesting.
Yeah, because I think it's dynamic, right?
Yeah.
You just find your way. And if this doesn't work, you go this way. And if that doesn't work, you try this.
And it's also ever changing. People are changing and needs change. And it's important that at every step you check in with each other. And it is emotionally a roller coaster. I've seen this in couples. But in the relationships where they both consented to, okay, listen, we have desires that are not being fulfilled in a certain way. Let's open it up. And then what do you need? What do I need? And then that, it did work. But if you use non-monogamy as Band-Aid for your relationship, that never worked.
Or as an excuse. I've heard that around as well. Yeah. Like an example is what I've heard around me as well is that people actually, they are dating and they are looking for a relationship, but then they use the term like, yeah, but you have to know I'm poly. So I really like you, but I am going to see other people. And it's like, if you just put it this hard, like, hey, this is it and no other way, then you actually kind of force the other person to bend into your ways, even though you don't really even know each other that well.
Well, that's at the beginning, right?
Yeah, at the beginning.
If you say like, hey, I'm a polyamorous person, I will never have I don't want a monogamous person. But then it's up to the other person to say, hey, do I agree with this or not? But if you are like, oh, I'm a very monogamous person, I will change this other person into a monogamous person. I don't think that works.
Or the other way around.
Right? So I do think like that's why it's important to talk about it at the beginning of the relationship or check in with each other. Hey, are your needs and desires met? So that's why, for instance, at the beginning of my relationship with my current partner, we checked in with our values, like, are our values aligned, but also are our non-negotiables aligned, our needs and wants. And those change, but we check in often because at one point your needs and desires can change.
Yeah. And
if the other can't provide it, then you have to start having that conversation, right?
But in every relationship, communication is key. But
exactly.
I think in non-monogamous relationship, it's even even more important.
Yeah, it's like you have to double up on the communication. Yeah. I've seen this, and you know what's beautiful? Like, I've seen relationships fail because they opened up their relationship, but I've also seen relationships actually get stronger.
Yeah, or blossom, right?
Blossom, yeah. I've seen a friend of mine has a partner for more than 15 years, And I think 4 years ago, they were about to break up because she had different desires and he had different desires. And then they decided to open it up. And now they're like so in love. I've never seen them so in love since the 15 years, you know? So
there's some good examples out there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it right now. This conversation is making me think about it. I think I'd rather if I would be in an open relationship, I'd rather have my partner just casual, plain, have a sexual experience with someone rather than dating.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It doesn't really. Just the idea, like, oh my God, you bought her flowers too, you know, just the idea. And that's maybe ego as well. I don't know. But for me, I don't think that would work for me. Like, I like to be the main partner. And I think I like to be the romantic partner, not.
Yeah, the love partner.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, I really don't know what I would like, but I do know what I can
rather have.
Yeah, or rather have. When it comes to how it would be for me in a non-monogamous relationship, but I do know what my capacity is. So it's like I can only have one heart partner, love partner.
Yeah, exactly.
And one emotional partner, and then sexual partners can vary. But I do think it's also really fun to explore together.
Yeah.
There are a lot of like clubs around the world where there is a lot of opportunity for this, festivals as well.
Clubs, festivals,
to explore
parties.
Together. Yeah. But yeah, and also, you know what's another question? And this I hear a lot. What do you think about non-monogamy when you have kids?
To be very honest, I wouldn't think I don't think it has to make a difference. Honestly. What I think as parents, to be honest, what you do in your private life because you're parents, but you're still the couple who started, right?
Yeah.
So I think I don't think it has to affect. I don't think it has to be positive. I don't think it has to be negative. I just don't think it even has to be something that has to be out there.
No.
Some people choose to. I know people who choose to be open to it. I know people who are not open to it. And if you are very loving and caring and having a healthy relationship with each other and with your children, then why does it really matter if the relationship is open or not behind the scenes?
I mean, I hear arguments of like, yeah, you have to be an example for your kids and everything.
But who says that's a bad example?
Yeah, so I believe I think the best example for your kids is to show that you are in a loving relationship and that you're in a happy relationship and a healthy relationship with your partner, where you communicate to the T about your needs, wants, and desires and your values. And I think that is very important.
And you don't have to give all the details.
No, that's also...
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think as parents you are obliged to tell your kids about your love life and your sex life with... Right? I don't think you are obligated to that. I think you are obligated to show what a healthy relationship looks like and to give your kids a healthy environment.
Yeah.
That's important, but... what you do in the weekends when the kids are with the grandparents, what does that matter?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And do you think a non-monogamous relationship can help resolve challenges in the relationship, or does it introduce more challenges? Do you think it can strengthen a relationship, or do you think a non-monogamous relationship, like opening up the relationship, can introduce more like problems? What do you think?
It's completely up to the two persons. I highly believe that. It's within their own responsibility. I highly believe that it is within your own responsibility and how you do with it. So if you handle it like in the best way possible, hold each other accountable, and you are like communicating about it, don't do things secretively or think like, hey,
being
this is
super honest.
Yeah, or start handling from the ego. Just, you know, like that one of the two is like, oh my God, this is my free pass. Let's go. Yeah, then... of course, then it's going to fail. My
friends also had told me that it's really important to give a lot of space for your own emotions and insecurities. When you open up a relationship, it's really important to sit with your own emotions and insecurities and also communicate it with your partner so there can be space for that. Because often when it's challenging in a non-monogamous relationship, it's because of you feel a certain way about it, you feel insecure, or there's some triggers. And when there is space for that, you can work through them together.
Yeah, and I think also there's no one way or the other. You can open it up, experience it, and actually experience both, like, this is not working. and go back to being monogamous. That's completely, you can still like, it's not, if you go down that road, there's no way back. I highly believe that.
Oh, you can always, yeah.
You can always go back to where it was, right? But I think there is not one single answer if it's going to fail or if it's going to be okay. It's just from what source are you starting this? From what source are you doing this?
So do you think a non-monogamous relationship can have success from the very beginning?
I think for some people, absolutely, yeah. I actually have people around me who have it because both of their desires and their needs are the same. They both know what a non-monogamous relationship actually withholds. That's already a good one. And they literally both know how it works.
Yeah.
So if you have those key elements already, then I think it could be sometimes even easier than for people who've never been in it and then they're starting this.
Yeah. The funny thing is I know more people that have been in a monogamous relationship for a long time, and then they open it up. So in my experience, it works the best when you have a strong foundation of trust and safety. But in your, like what you just described is also a really good way when you have both faces in the same direction, right? But when one wants it open and the other one doesn't, that's a difficult one.
Yeah, and of course, then it's not going to work. And I think it's not going to work because both parties have different desires and needs. And they will never really be met because they just are not capable, right? Unless one of the two makes a really rock solid decision, like, all right, this is it. This is gonna be. But you can't
you can't use it against them.
Yeah, you can't. And you can't use that against them then. Like, yeah, I'm changed this for you, or I did this for you.
I allowed you to go with that person, so now you can do this for me.
You can't be doing this because then you're not taking your own responsibility.
Yeah, that's true. And so if you would choose for a non-monogamous relationship, what would be the reason?
For me? Mm-hmm. If I would choose for a non-monogamous relationship, I think the only thing I can think about is, for me, my desire to be with a woman sometime can be fulfilled. I think that would be the only reason for me to be in a non-monogamous relationship, actually. For me, so if in my own ideal ego world, I would love to be with a male partner who allows me to sometimes just go out with a girlfriend and have an experience with that and just leave it. And that doesn't mean that I think it's funny because a lot of people fantasize about this and be like, yeah, and then they make it like every weekend you're out with someone else. I just like the idea that I am with a partner that if I go out and I see a beautiful woman, I am allowed to kiss her if I want to and not be punished for it.
Yeah, I mean, some couples also have like, kissing is not a problem, or having sex is not a problem, as long as it's not, as long as it's one night only, or as long as it's not in our house, or like there's all
no
kinds
communication via.
Or I don't want to know, or I do want to know everything. Like there's all kinds of rules that you can have.
It goes in so many forms.
Yeah.
But I think that would be the only way for me. But never say never. I'm still really young.
Yeah.
And I never know what's gonna go to my path. And you?
I mean, for me, I would probably do it for even more sexual exploration, maybe. And also just the same reason with you, just to be with a woman. But I'm just a very curious person.
Yeah.
Just that. But I would like to do it with my partner. That's, I think, if ever.
You would like to do it together.
Yeah. I don't have the need to be with other people right now.
No, I understand.
So
I don't really have that either when I'm in a relationship, to be very honest. So for me, it wouldn't be necessary, but the idea that there is a certain type of freedom to maybe allow you to kiss with other people without any problem, I would be very open to that.
But I'm also wondering how I'm feeling in that moment that I want that. Say that I get to a point where I really want to kiss another woman, or I want to kiss another person, or I want to just be with someone else. How do I feel about the relationship I'm in? Because I also don't want to feel the need to be with someone else because my current relationship isn't going so well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's very black and white looking at it, right? Because it's not like it's not that you feel the need to kiss a woman because your relationship is going bad. No,
I'm saying I'm wondering how I would feel in that moment. So if if I do feel the need at one point, like right now I don't have the need, right?
Oh, yeah.
But at one point, if I do feel the need, how am I then feeling about my current relationship?
Yeah.
Am I running away, or am
yeah.
I just like, oh, I'm so curious, let's do this together, or I would just love to explore this part of myself. Is that okay with you?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? So it's this.
Well, let's find out.
Exactly. Let's see. Who knows? So you mentioned jealousy, right? How do you handle jealousy, though? If you would imagine yourself in an open relationship, you know.
Either way, an open relationship or no open relationship, jealousy is a fear-based emotion.
Yes.
I think that's what's really important. I always come to myself like jealousy is a fear-based emotion, and jealousy definitely comes from the ego. I think it's the ego telling you that it's extremely afraid that a certain desire that you have is never gonna fulfill, right? And I think that's with jealousy. Like if you see your partner and someone is hitting on them or gives them a certain type of attention or whatsoever, and it makes you feel jealous, you should always go back to yourself and internally talk with yourself like, okay, why am I being jealous? What is my ego telling me?
Yeah.
And what am I so afraid of?
Yeah. I've thought about this as well a lot, because I'm not really jealous because of the things that you just said, right? So for me, jealousy is literally fear of letting go of control. So it's fear of losing control, and you want control over the thing that you desire most, right? So, for instance, let's say my partner goes out and goes into the club and he has fun. I can sit here the whole night and think, oh my God, is he talking to women? Is he, all of those things? But I have no control over these things.
And you will never have.
And I will never have. So I taught myself and I told myself, okay, these things you have no control over. So you just have to trust. And if that trust isn't there anymore, then that's a whole nother story.
Exactly. And I think also is that I've realized at a very young age as well, is that jealousy also, it comes from a source of how good a relationship is with yourself.
Yes, not feeling good enough. Yeah.
If you feel good enough about yourself, if you know who you are, if you feel like you're worthy, you think your high self-worth is in a good place, then jealousy will never win from that. It can occur, it can go up to the surface, but it will never win.
Yeah.
And I think that's very, very, very important. That jealousy almost always has to do something with yourself, and it's either the ego or the fear or both.
100%. And if you have a partner that keeps making you feel jealous,
I was about to say that,
then that's another conversation you should have, because that's also not healthy. It's not in adding value to the relationship.
Exactly. And that's when you have to be really, really honest with yourself. I'm feeling jealous. You go inside. What is it? Am I really fearful? What is it that you're fearful of? Is it realistic that you're fearful? No? All right. Then you have to deal something with yourself. But if you have a partner that keeps on making you feel jealous, keeps on making you question your worth, keeps on going with other people, and you're just questioning yourself the whole time, then that type of jealousy is actually, I think it's a sign of showing like,
you're in a toxic relationship.
I'm not in a good relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly when you know you're not ready for an open relationship.
Yeah, that's definitely not the moment to start non-monogamy. No. And so how do you know when you're ready for a non-monogamous relationship?
I can't answer you that question, because I've never been in that position.
Yeah.
I've never been in a relationship where I thought like, oh my God, we need to open it up because I desire different things, because we both feel like it. I have no idea. I can't answer that question. The only thing I know that I think it's extremely important in any relationship is that you're both taking accountability, you're both responsible, and you both know that you're choosing for each other.
Yeah.
So that you're safe there.
Yeah.
I think that's the only things that I can come to my mind.
It comes back to that you need trust, safety, and consent, and a really strong communication to put that all together. I have never been in a non-monogamous relationship either. But for me, if I was ever ready, those elements should be in there. Trust, safety, communication, and consent. Yeah. And without that, I wouldn't want to go into a non-monogamous relationship.
No, I don't think anybody should. But that's just my opinion.
But it happens a lot. And then it brings more challenges into the relationship instead of that it strengthens it.
Yeah, and then it becomes just very harmful and a very traumatic experience when it doesn't have to be this way, right? It doesn't have to be a traumatic experience when it can be maybe a very healing or very adventurous experience.
Yeah, because what is the difference between cheating and non-monogamy?
Consent.
Yeah, 100% consent. I was just wondering what you would say, huh?
Would you rather not know or would you rather know?
I would rather know.
Yeah?
I don't know, actually. I don't really mind because I'm not really... to be honest, like, I'm really curious about my partner's past and what he's done. Like, it's just nice to know about his sexuality and his adventures.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the past love.
No, but that... shows me that I am a curious person. So I do think I would want to know, but not as in like I want to know what you're up to, but more like, oh, I'm curious what you like, what you learned, what you explored, like more like that. I think that's
so you would rather know if you were in an open relationship, you'd rather know that he had sex with someone else than don't know.
Yes, because I think that's a bit more honest and open communication than unless I tell him I don't want to know, but I think I think I would personally also be open and be like, hey, I did this with another person the other day and just FYI, because of course you already spoke about it, but
all right, interesting.
So it's not I want to know, it's more like, you can tell me if you want to. That's more what it is.
All right. I wouldn't know. I have no idea. I don't know if
it's just guesswork, huh?
Yeah, it's just guessing because I'm a big believer of what you don't know can't hurt you. I'm a believer of that.
That's true. Can also be the case. Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't answer this question. Maybe one day later.
Yeah. So enough about non-monogamy.
These were really good questions.
Thank you so much. Also, let us know what you think about non-monogamy in the comments. Well, I love talking about this very interesting topic.
Yeah, I think I'm going to ask around more about this topic in my surroundings because I do see the change in the world. I do see the change in my environment as well. I do see people talking about it more and being open to it more. So
yeah,
I'm just very curious as well.
Yeah, thank you for sending in your questions again about this topic. We were super honest today again. If today's episode spoke to you, please like this video, share this with your friends, and subscribe to our channel.
And please, in the comments, if you have any questions, keep asking your questions so for the next episode we can answer them all with, again, brutal honesty.
And every share shows the world that everything on womanhood matters. So join our community, ask your questions. We have experts on this and women that have the same experiences or other experiences. Join our community and let's learn together about all of these things around womanhood.
Can't wait. Till next time, Umas.